Hey, welcome back to the Brain-Gut Connection. I'm Dave, and today we're talking about something you've almost certainly experienced, but never had properly explained. Why a stressful week at work somehow ends up in your stomach. When you're stressed, your brain releases cortisol and activates your sympathetic nervous system. That's your fight or flight response. And one of the first things that response does is divert blood flow away from digestion because your body has decided you need to run or fight, not digest lunch. That diversion slows gut motility. It changes the environment your gut bacteria are living in. And here's the part that surprises people. Chronic stress has been shown to measurably reduce microbial diversity within days, not months of chronic stress, days. So the first half of this loop is straightforward. Your brain, under stress, directly and physically changes your gut. Here's where it gets interesting, and where last week's episode on the vagus nerve becomes directly relevant. Once your gut microbiome has been disrupted by stress, it doesn't just sit there passively. It sends signals back up the vagus nerve, the same superhighway we covered last week, and those signals increase inflammation and directly affect neurotransmitter production, including serotonin, which your gut is responsible for producing 90 to 95% of. That disruption feeds back into your brain as increased anxiety and lower stress tolerance, which means stress disrupted your gut, and now your disrupted gut is making you more prone to stress. That's the loop closing. This is exactly why people with anxiety disorders have dramatically higher rates of IBS, and people with IBS have dramatically higher rates of anxiety. For a long time, researchers debated which one caused the other. The current understanding is that they're not a simple cause and effect, they're the same feedback loop, just viewed from two different starting points. Here's the genuinely useful part. Because it's a loop, you don't need to fix everything simultaneously, you just need to interrupt it at one point, and the whole system starts to recalibrate. On the brain-to-gut side, the vagal tone techniques from last week. Slow breathing, cold exposure, humming. These directly reduce the stress signal before it has a chance to disrupt your gut as heavily. On the gut-to-brain side, diet and microbiome support. Fermented foods, fiber, reducing ultra-processed food intake. These strengthen the gut's ability to send calm, regulated signals back up to the brain instead of inflammatory ones. Research out of the Cryon Lab at University College Cork found that stress-induced changes in gut bacteria could be observed to directly influence anxiety-like behavior, and, notably, that introducing specific beneficial bacteria could reduce that same stress response. The loop runs both directions, which means you have leverage from both directions too. Thanks for being here. If this landed for you, share it with someone who could use it to your gut and your glory. I'm Dave. This has been the Brain Gut Connection.